Hello and welcome back to the garage. A little different today. We're at home. Forgot my mic, forgot my tripod, so my phone is currently clamped into my vise on my workbench, but it's working, it looks like. We're going to work on the 735 today. This is the e32 I bought in Southern California a few months ago. Overall, really a nice time capsule of a car, but it had been, I won't say neglected, but it's had some deferred maintenance over the past few years. So I'm going to do a valve adjustment today. We're going to do a little walkthrough and hit the highlights of that. Nice thing about a valve adjustment on an M30 is the only part you really need is a valve cover gasket. So there's really not a lot that you have to put into it from a part standpoint, unlike the S38s where you need shims and bucket depressors and all that. So valve cover gasket, a set of feeler gauges, and a wrench and a piece of a little Allen wrench to move the eccentrics. So we'll get in here, show you what we need to take off, get access, and I'll kind of show you how I do it if I can figure out a way to get the phone to stay in the right spot. So let's move. All right, so first up, of course, we need to get access to the valves. You need to get the air box out of the way, intake, airflow meter, and spark plug wires, which are held in by a couple of nuts. Just move that stuff out of the way. This little plastic cover slips off, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 the acorn nuts to take off the valve cover. Pretty easy to get to. Need to figure out a way to crank the engine over too. We could probably do that from the diagnostic connector here. There should be a terminal for the starter where we can just crank the engine over on the starter to rotate it as we're going through the valves. And then I'm going to grab a little piece of paper to make some notes so we know what valves we've done. So we'll check back here once I get inside. Okay, so we're in, and I've got number 1 at top dead center. So both valves are closed. The cam lobe is at the bottom of the travel. And the idea is you take a 0.3 millimeter feeler gauge, and it should slip in, it's difficult to do with one hand here, between the valve spring and the rocker. And it should be tight, but it should fit in and out. My exhaust cam was very, or my exhaust valve was very tight when I tried the first time. I couldn't fit a 0.25 in, so then what you do is you loosen this lock nut, and then you take, I use a little Allen wrench. There's a hole in the eccentric right here, and then once this is loosened a little bit, you can pivot the eccentric back and forth, which is basically like an oval, and that's going to increase or decrease your clearance. So what I usually do is I leave the feeler gauge in there and make this snug, kind of slide it in and out, tighten this, pull the feeler gauge out, make sure it can still go in and out with some resistance. It shouldn't be easy to get in. It should take a little bit of work. So number 1, it's hard to show with one hand here, and I forgot my tripod, but cylinder number 1 is good. We'll do the rest of them, and then we'll recheck all of them again as we rotate the engine around. Well, surprisingly, number 1 exhaust was the only one that needed anything. One exhaust was pretty tight. Everything else felt fine. You always go into a project hoping you're going to make a difference, and I don't think that's going to really make a difference, but at any rate, it was good to get a look in here. The cam looks good. It's the engine looks like it's in good shape, and apparently was pretty well maintained because all the valves are really well within spec. So put it back together, fire it up, and move on to the next project. All right, so all buttoned back up, running fine. Very quiet for an M30, but this is probably what they're supposed to sound like. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I still need to do an actual proper intro video on this car. We'll do that soon. Thanks again.